Welcome to Daring Different. This podcast is where we challenge the norm, embrace the unconventional, and find extraordinary strength in life's most challenging moments. I am your host, Ciara Zita, and today I want to take you on a deeply personal journey. It is a story of resilience in the face of invisible disabilities, chronic pain, and mental health struggles. It is a story of daring to turn pain into purpose and build this podcast to inspire people like you. So many of us on this planet Earth, it feels like the world doesn't see us. Maybe you felt that too. And with that, we've been battling things others cannot see and understand. But I have learned along the way and through my experience and journey that our stories can heal, connect, and transform ourselves and those around us. So, let's dive in together. So, let me take you back to where all this began. Years ago, I was living with relentless, debilitating, and exhaustion that had no clear answers. Each day felt like an uphill battle, and with every unanswered question from doctors, and the weight of despair grew heavier on me. Doctors couldn't explain it. Friends and family struggled to understand me, why I seemed fine one moment and the next unable to move. That's the reality of fibromyalgia. It is an autoimmune disease. It is an invisible disability, one that is grossly misunderstood, dismissed, and very isolating. But it didn't stop there. I was also further diagnosed with functional neurological disorder, also known as FND. It is a condition where the brain and the body struggle to communicate, leading to symptoms like seizures, tremors, and paralysis. Imagine your body betraying you, paralyzed by seizures and tremors daily, and having chronic pain so severe you wish not to be alive anymore, only to have people dismiss it, saying it's all in your head. That is what living with FND really feels like. And then there was the depression. Chronic illness and mental health always work hand together. A darkness that seeped to every corner of my life. At my lowest, I felt utterly invisible, as if my struggles were shrouded behind a veil no one could see or wanted to see. Like my pain and my struggles did not matter because they couldn't be seen. But I have learned that just because something is invisible doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And if you are someone living with an invisible disability, I want you to hear this. Your experiences, your pain, and your resilience are valid. But let me tell you, it is not about being unbreakable. It's about finding the strength to regain even when everything in your body wants to give up. For me, resilience looked like taking one small step forward each day. I began writing during my darkest moments. Writing became my escape. It became my lifeline. With each word, I unleashed the torrent of pain, anger, and fear that had built up right deep inside of me, carving a path towards understanding and healing. Eventually, those words became a book, Gold Digger, unearthing the treasures in life's toughest challenges. In it, in my book, I shared my struggles and the silver linings that I discovered along the way. Because here is the thing about challenges. They force you to grow. They force you to adapt and to find strength you know you didn't have. But resilience wasn't something I found on my own. I had to learn how to ask for help. That was foreign to me. That was one of the most complex parts, reaching out when I felt burdened. But it was through connection, through sharing my story with others, that I began to heal. And that's why I created this platform, to remind you that you are not alone and that resilience is within you too. One of the struggles that I encountered along my journey was the struggle of mental health. Mental health is such a critical part of this journey. For years, I felt ashamed of my depression. I thought it made me weak, and it was something I had to hide. But the truth is, mental health struggles are nothing to be ashamed of. They are a natural response to living through extraordinary challenges. One of the most biggest lessons I have learned in this profound power of vulnerability is that the courage to reveal your raw truth, even when it feels like the hardest thing in the world. When I started opening up about my struggles, I realized I wasn't alone. There's so many out there like you and me. So many people walk through their battles feeling like they cannot speak up. But when we dare to be different, and when we dare to share our truth, we not only find ourselves, we give others permission to do the same. So let me say this. If you are struggling right now, please know it is okay to ask for help. Whether that's reaching out to a friend, a therapist, or even a community like this one, know that you are not a burden. You are human, and there is strength in seeking support. How did I turn my pain to purpose along the way? They say our pain can lead to our most significant purpose. And for me, looking back in hindsight, that purpose is this podcast, Daring Different. It's creating a space where people with disabilities, mental health struggles, or anyone feeling unseen and unheard can find hope and connection. It is about challenging the stigma, sparking conversations, and showing that there are so many ways to live, to thrive, and to succeed, even if it looks different from the norm. This journey has taught me that being different isn't a weakness. It's a strength, and it is one I see in every single person listening to me right now. Whether you're living with an invisible disability, navigating mental health challenges, or simply trying to find your place in this world, know this: your story matters. My story matters. And the world needs you and your unique voice, your unique perspective, and your unique strength. Thank you for letting me share my story with you today. I hope it reminds you of your strength and resilience even in the face of life's toughest challenges. If this episode resonates with you, I invite you to join our community. Subscribe to the podcast, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and let us continue this conversation together. And remember, your challenges do not define you. Your resilience does. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. And as always, keep daring to be different. From yours truly, Cece.